Hi everybody, Jo here again. Thought I'd just pop in so we could have another little catch up. I hope you're keeping well, I hope things are going okay. Bit of exciting news really. I'm going to today want to show you, we're going to have a go at creating this design. This is our little twofer, our spare background. But this, look at this new baby, just landed on my desk today. So straight away, obviously I had to have a play. So we've got this fabulous new Lavinia stencils, 8x8 stencils, and this one is called Charming. So obviously had to have a play with this. Now, to me, the first thing I thought was it looks like flames. And we've got a challenge at the minute. Our Lavinia challenge this month is Midnight Magic. So I thought, you know what, team it up with the dragon set, and I've got a card that will be great for the challenge, but also lets me play with this new stencil. Now, I have to say, I'm also thinking it could be scales. Could it be scales on the dragon? Or what about fish? The mermaids? I mean, so many things. Now, also, could it be teardrops down? Almost a bit of an Indian type. Oh, so many things. Honestly, once you get them, you will just start. My mind was so many things I could do with it. But I've got to stop, I've got to focus. What we're going to do is today we'll create this design. I'm going to pop that to one side. So I'm going to start off with a piece of card, and it's 5 by 7 inches. So that's 5 inches by 7 inches. It's a nice standard piece of card. And we're going to do our stamping first. Now, a lot of people ask why I do my stamping first, and it's just the way I found that it works for me with doing my stenciling. I find if I use the oxides, it shows through, whereas when I do it this way, it doesn't. So it's just something I like to do. But it's like everything, there's no right and wrong. You just do whatever suits you. You'll certainly find, especially if you're a newbie, lots of different techniques. I would recommend trying them all, and you just see what suits you. It's a bit like cooking, isn't it? We all follow a recipe, but we sort of tweak it a bit. So I'm just nice light tapping, and I'm going to stamp my dragons. So we'll have this one flying. He can be going up there. Now again, is a silhouette, so give that ink time to soak in. Don't be in a rush to lift. If you lift your stamp too quickly, you're just not giving that ink time to soak in. And these are all things that help give you a really good image. Right, so that's one dragon. We'll stamp our second one. Now again, a couple of you have noticed and asked me why I tend to, quite often I put my ink pad this way. It's just when my ink pad's new, I store it this way. But when my ink pad like this one, it's not as new as it was. I tend to store it this way just so the ink is always on the top ready for when I'm going to stamp. So let's see, shall we have it? We'll have him flying down. I don't want him directly under, so I'll just pop him there. And again, give him a good press. Always keep one hand on the block. Like I say, they're lovely silhouettes, these. Oh, I mean, look at that. Great for men's cards, teenagers' cards. Now, because VersaFine ink is a slower drying ink, I'm just going to get my heat tool and just give it a little bit of a... I don't want to smudge the ink, you see. It dries a bit slower, your VersaFine Claire. So, and whenever you dry anything, always heat from the front and the back. And lift it up as well, don't hold it down. You'll find it'll dry quicker if you just lift it up. I mean, alternatively, you could just blot it. Now, before I do the stenciling, what I'm going to do is just give myself a bit of an edge. And for this, I'm just going to use a black, I'm going to use a Sharpie pen, and I'm just going to hold my card down and whiz my pen obviously I've got my copy paper underneath. Don't do this directly onto your best table, will you? Otherwise, you won't be happy. And again, I'm just putting a bit of kitchen roll on my card, because if I put my hand directly on it, even if I think my hand's clean, do you know what? There'll be a mark on there, won't there? There we go, and that's just almost my faux matting. So that's my black edge, saves cutting black card. And now we can get the stenciling. So like I say, we could have it this way, almost looks like raindrops, but I thought I wanted to look at, you know, Midnight Magic, it looks like fire. And again, don't forget you could alter the angle, but I'm thinking let's go there. And I'm just going to hold my stencil in place. You could use tape, but I'm going to hold it. Now I've got some inks here, and I'm using oxide just because they're on my desk. And I'm going for, I always tend to go light to dark, and I have them on my desk. I find it easy for me to work in the way I'm going to work down my card. So mustard seed at the top, spice marmalade, crackling campfire, and then candied apple at the bottom. And what we'll do, we'll start with our lightest colour. And I'm just going to put a bit of ink on each of these ready. There we go. So I'm going to start with the mustard seed. I just want to check you can see what I'm doing. And I'm just lightly, and I'm going to go over my image, that's fine. Doing it this way I can. And I'm just lightly going to put some mustard seed sort of in the middle. Lift up to have a look-see. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? Actually, I don't think I need any more. Maybe just a little at the bottom. And then I'm going to come in with my spice marmalade and blend that over the mustard seed. Lift up again. Yeah, and I want it a bit deeper. You get very good at doing this, working with one hand. Trying to not go too near the edges. And again, I'm going to flick that up. Oh, that's looking nice, isn't it? And what you notice, if you flick upwards, I want it darker at the bottom, but I want to see if I can get a bit of light and shade in this. Now, the important thing when I've done this is to come back with my yellow, just to blend in that orange with the yellow. And if I lift that up, you see how that blends better? That gives a much nicer tone. I'm going to come in with the red. Now, this is where I've got to be mindful. Hold it both sides, look. Don't want it too wide at the bottom. Go back to holding that now. And then just blend into the orange. Then I'm going to come back with my orange and blend that over the red, just so I get a nice blend. Work it a bit. Back with the red. I'm not putting any more ink on, but back with my red. And you'll see that gives me a much better blend. I'm working on that area. And if I lift that off, yes, I'm happy with that look. So I love, if I bring it a bit closer, can you see the way these colours all blend together? And the beauty of it is, now, before I do clean my stencil, I was going to say the beauty of it is we get our bonus background here. But I want to just put the lids on my ink because I don't want to introduce water. So out with my pot of water. And I'm just going to spritz, and good old Eric is sat on the floor, so he's had another shower. And for those of you that don't know, he's my Labrador. Don't worry, it's not my husband. There we go. So we'll just activate that ink with the water and give that a good pat. And sometimes I can't wait. Look, I have to lift up and have a look. Oh, look at that, yeah. Let's lift that up. How stunning is that? Absolutely. And that's your free background. I'm thinking I definitely need one of those mermaids on there. Just beautiful. So back to our design. Don't need a lot to add to it now. Just going to wipe underneath. There's a bit of water there. And what I'm going to do, a couple of little things. we're going to add some stars. Now there are quite a few different star stamps. This one is Stars 1 Mini. And I just want to add, I don't want to add a lot because I love my stencil background. So I don't want to lose that. But I think just some little stars will just add to that midnight magic. So we'll just put one cluster here. And we'll go in that odd numbers. So the rule of odd numbers will have 3. And I've just got a bit of ink on the edge there and on my block. So we'll get rid of that. Now we'll alter, I don't want that the same angle, so I'm going to alter that angle. Put that there. And then my last one, don't want it too far away. If you stamp too far away, there's no continuity. We want the design to flow, which it does nicely there. And then I want to just make it look like there's a little bit of movement in the tails, look, of these dragons. So just by adding a couple of little lines there, we've got that little bit of movement. Get rid of my stamping mat. And then I'm coming in, this is my white pastel pencil. Now, some crafters love to do the highlights with the white pens, which is great. For me, I'm just a bit of a coward. I find the white pen a bit severe for me. So almost my take on it is to add it with my pastel. I just feel it a bit more forgiving. I've almost got more confidence with it. But it's whatever suits you. I know a lot of people put lovely white lines. It just doesn't work for me. This is just better for me. But like I was saying before, it's whatever suits you. You try all these different things and you come up with, there's no right or wrong. The white lines look beautiful. I just can't do them. As I say, the pastel, I've just got more confidence with my pastel. It's a bit more forgiving for me. A bit on his snout there. Just a little highlight on his tail there. Yeah. And then last little thing, because we've got the yellow, I'm just going to bring in a little bit of gold with the Signal pen and just dab the centre. Don't want to add too much glitter. I like this. I'm thinking this would be great for a man's card. So, and that's it. And I think the beauty of that stencil, for me, I just love that. I think it's wonderful. So there's the one we've created today. Next to that one. And there's that lovely background that we've just made. And like I say, look, we could even maybe have it that way. Oh yes, I can't wait to stamp that up. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go and stamp that up. So I hope you love these new stencils. As I say, this one is charming and it's an 8x8, good size, lovely. Can't wait to use it on my gel press. That's the next thing I'm going to do. So thanks for popping in, as always. Thanks for your lovely comments. It's lovely to read them. You take care now. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.